Welcome to 734 Games, and this is your host Tom, coming to you from beautiful Washtenaw County at 734games.com. And we're here today to talk about Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell: The Blacklist. Now, this is a game that was obviously about the world of War on Terra, and if you've played the rest of the games in this series or any of the other games in this series, you know that this game is a spy game. That has a lot to do with, Sam Fisher is a spy. He works for the NSA. He works for Echelon, this small, part of the NSA where he goes on field missions, and he stops bad guys, usually terrorists. Now, in this game, this is a pretty good game. Although I wouldn't say that it's the best game in the series. Let's talk about some of the things that are wrong with it. I thought that the controls in Conviction were a lot better than the Splinter Cell game that preceded this, the last game. I thought the controls were a little bit better. I mean, everything is pretty close as far as graphics, lighting, and all that. The game is on the Unreal 3 engine, so were the previous games, or at least the two previous games to this one, were both on the Unreal 3 engine. So the look is not that much. It didn't really improve that much over the other games. At least, I mean, obviously the first games came out on the original Xbox and PC. So yeah, it's greatly improved over those games. I mean, I think it was Splinter Cell, and it was Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. That never came out on PC though. Even if you get a box set of Splinter Cell games, you'll never find Pandora Tomorrow on anything but the original Xbox. Now I don't know if that has backwards compatibility or not. I don't know. I don't follow Xbox anymore. And then, of course, then there was Chaos Theory. That was a great game as well. And then, of course, Splinter Cell, Double Agent, and Conviction, and this game. So my main gripes with this game, basically, is that the controls aren't as good as they could be. And there's one quick time event in this game. I'm not going to tell you when it is, but let's just say it's the end. It's around the end. This game has, like, absolutely no quick time events until the very end of the campaign, and it makes absolutely no sense, and it's not done very well. And those are my real gripes with this game. But as far as that, those are small problems with this game. If you get this game, it's got full controller support. It's available on, obviously, Microsoft Windows. It's available on the Xbox and Xbox 360, and it was on the PlayStation 3. And of course, this game is backwards compatible on the Xbox One as well. So you can get it on PC and Xbox One and PS3. It's a good game. I would say it's really good, but I would say go back and get Conviction or Double Agent instead. Especially if you have a PC. Those games, I think, I like those games a little bit better than this one. This was not a bad game. One really good thing about this game, too, is you have cooperative missions. And there's more leveling in this game. They've made this game more of a leveling game. So they added some RPG elements. And so that kind of changed it a little bit. So we're done with the cons. That's basically, I wouldn't call those cons having RPG elements and, just, being slightly different. You get to upgrade the plane and such. Now, even after you finish the main campaign, there are other outlying missions to do. So there are side missions. The game is pretty good. It's a good game. The missions are great. Like I said, I thought Conviction had better gameplay. But this is really a good game, and you can't go wrong with this game. It looks great. And here, I want to show you guys just how, the presentation is one pro that I really, in every Splinter Cell game, the presentation is well done here. It's well done in all of them. Ubisoft, really, the Tom Clancy team and Ubisoft, they do a good job because Tom Clancy is their baby. And I really hope they do another Splinter Cell. That would be awesome to see a Splinter Cell with the UE4 engine, or maybe utilizing the engine that they used in Ghost Recon Wildlands for another Splinter Cell game. That would be great. But here's a sample of the audio.
Iran won't open those doors. Who gives a shit? Boo-hoo! Kick the goddamn door in!
Lies! All lies! Once again, the American bullies are crying terrorists.
What the hell did we just do?
We found documents. We didn't prove Iran was involved with the blacklist.
Well, they don't seem to be too concerned with the details.
Bogus documents are not Congressman's blood. All I can see is Iran. Caldwell's gonna declare war unless we can give her another solution.
That mean we don't have one?
No. We have this.
The old U.S. Embassy in Iran, isn't that Quds Force HQ now?
Now, one of my other minor gripes of this game was the fact that body armor does not take the kind of damage that these guys take in this game. You got guys, you're hitting them with an assault rifle, and they just kind of barely makes them stagger. That is not what body armor does, so don't expect that to ever happen in real life. And I know that's a minor gripe for a game. The only thing is that Tom Clancy games are supposed to be more like simulators. So when they do stuff like that, it's silly. And I mean, the hitboxes for the heads are really small. You know, so you got to hit a guy in the temple to kill him with one-hit kills. That's not exactly true either, especially with some of these weapons that Sam is using. So I mean, you know, it's just one of those things that they do in games like this. I think they want to make it more accessible. But, you know, Tom Clancy is not Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is not Tom Clancy, so they shouldn't do that. Now, you know, besides those minor gripes and anything else, this is really a fun game. Now, one thing I really like about the game, okay, it's a fun game if you like simulator games. Now, if you want your game to be more like Call of Duty and you just want to, you know, shoot everybody and, you know, just run and gun, this is not your game. This is a stealth game where you stick to the corners, you take your shot. If you have to wait for the guy to pass, or you got to wait for them to get in the right spot, or wait for the shot. This is a game that does require some amount of discipline to play, to really be good at. And that's one thing I really like about Splinter Cell, is that, you know, you have to have that sort of military discipline, I want to say. But this is a fun game, and I like how you have, even like, okay, one of my other gripes is that there's a quick time event in the game at the end. Now, that is the worst thing you can do to a military simulator type game like this. And another thing is that the controls were better in Conviction than they were in this game. And that's one thing that, you know, it kind of gets me a little bit. But I still enjoyed this game. It's still, at its core, this game still captures the spirit of Splinter Cell. It does a great job. It's fun. It's got a good story that kind of keeps you coming. You know, it kind of grabs you and pulls you along. So it is a good game. I still think that Conviction was probably the best in the series, or Double Agent was probably the best. One of those two. It's a toss-up between those two. I would give those games, like I said, I'd give those games a 9, and probably this game an 8. But you know, there's a lot here to like. And the missions are really good. And even after you finish the main story, there are other missions, you know, side missions in the game that you can go out and, you know, and sneak around and shoot bad guys. So, I mean, okay, there were a few technical glitches here and there, but they weren't big technical glitches in this game. And they were mainly when you went off the track. Like one area, I went off outside of the, you know, outside of the level, sort of, and then I fell through the level. But those aren't really problems for the game, because it wasn't the direction I was supposed to be going in anyway. I just did it to see if I could do it. But this game, like I said, looks a lot like the other Splinter Cell games. It's running on the Unreal 3 engine. It's not much different. And it's available on, obviously, Windows, Xbox One, and like the older last-gen console. I have to say, one minor change to this game is that they added basically sort of a leveling system, where you could, you know, make changes to, you know, your goggles and your weapons, and obviously, and you can also make changes to the airplane. The plane kind of reminds me of the plane in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., except obviously that's more sci-fi. But basically, in this game, you can level up the airplane in different areas of the plane, and it really didn't. I mean, leveling the plane didn't seem like it changed much of the gameplay, but leveling your character obviously does. Changing your goggles does. So that's kind of a cool element. I would love to see a new Splinter Cell game. That would be awesome. Ubisoft, if you're listening by some, you know, slim chance you get to ever hear this video or hear this audio or see this video, please make another Splinter Cell game. That would be cool. And if you like watching my videos and you enjoy watching this game footage, I like showing indie games, and I like showing AAA games. Now, I just did this one because I really wanted to do this one, and I was playing this game, and I was like, well, why don't I finish Splinter Cell Blacklist and do a video review of it? So I did. So if you like watching my videos, if you're on YouTube, you can hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. If you're on WordPress, hit the star or subscribe. You know, and go to my site and watch my other videos. I'm at www.734games.com. And I mean, obviously, I'll be on Minds.com, and I'll be on Gab AI, some of the other cool sites I like to to visit every once in a while and find some cool info. But I hope you've enjoyed my videos, and I hope I've inspired you to pick up this great series, Splinter Cell. I mean, Splinter Cell Blacklist is a great game, but the series, if you're a Tom Clancy fan, it is a must-have. And that's it. This is your host, Tom, signing off. Goodbye, and gaming is alive.